Today's topic of discussion is pre-selection. So right now on the internet, there's a bunch of guys following this red pill ideology. They're going around saying, you need to sleep with 50 plus women in order to understand them. So in this video, we're going to be discussing some key points in terms of why there's certain parts of red pill which are true and other parts which are false. So first point is red pill. Now I'm going to play this 1 minute clip of a guy talking about red pill and how it damages you. So I'll play it now for you guys.
Never listen to red pill if you're a man. Stay away from that industry. It's going to ruin you and your life and your future forever. And the craziest thing is there was a point in time where me and a lot of people I know used to follow this red pill stuff until I actually grew a pair of balls. Only a real man and only a real father or husband, right, can actually look after their family, maintain their masculinity and have everything in check. Understanding that your woman has a role in your life and that they are actually not a burden on you. And of course, you have to be able to pick the right woman. I'm someone who's been married and I've got a child now, alhamdulillah, right? And one thing I can tell you, the right partner will make your life so much easier. And this red pill nonsense makes you look at women as if they're objects, etc. I'm not making this video to say, oh look, he's just doing it for the women. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm married, I have a child, I'm happy. But this is for a lot of young people that look at women a different way. Yes, the wrong woman can absolutely ruin your life, and I stand by that 100%. But you boys need to pick better women, and by that I mean improving yourself. If you're not a type of person that can attract the woman that you want, how can you get the woman that you want to be standing by your side for the rest of your life, to look after your children, to take care of you and each other? And trust me, real masculinity is having a family, being a good father, being a good inspiration for just that one person and your offspring. And if you're a man who wants to learn and lead by example, be sure to follow.
Okay, so you guys are back now. You've had a watch of it. Now, the term pre-selection is a red pill term. Now, for the viewers who are watching this, you guys who are speaking to, let's say, women for marriage purposes, or you're just speaking to women in general, there's going to be a point in time where if you get, let's say, 1 or 2 women or 3 women, and other women are seeing that, chances are they're going to want you. It's like when you go to, for example, these festivals, music concerts, when they see a rapper or pop star. So I'm going to give you guys an example. Back in the day when I was working at Wembley Stadium, I came across this band called BTS. Now, BTS, I had never heard of them until I started working as a steward. So a steward is somebody who checks the tickets of people and then lets people go in, and he just directs them to their seats. The amount of people, fans, people who supported BTS, like 90% of them were women. I couldn't believe it. It was just this Korean band. They were so glamorized by these women. They were literally just like worshipping them. And the shocking part was there was quite a few Muslim women who attended. You know, wearing hijab, modest clothing. Now, with red pill seems to promote that these guys here who are sleeping around with these women, they are pre-selected. Well, there's a difference between high quality women and low quality women. A guy who just sleeps around, goes with whoever. Is that man a man of value? The answer is no. You know, a man of value ain't just gonna sleep with any low quality promiscuous woman. You know, high quality men associate with high quality women. They're not just gonna go with whoever and think that, I'm gaining experience. So, next point is quality. Now, how many of these guys on the internet do you guys see with quality women? Because you can be pre-selected. So everyone who's watching this, there could be a lot of you guys who are pre-selected. But you're going to need to analyze the quality of options you actually have. Because there's a lot more to pre-selection than meets the eye. Because you got these guys who are influencers talking about all these different sets of women. Now, how many of those women are actually of quality? Are they virgin women? Women who prioritize good morals, good values? Or are they just loose out on the streets? You know, chances are they're going to be loose out on the streets for a lot of people in today's time. But it's become the flex to think, look at all these women that I'm speaking to. Look at all these women that I'm getting. You know, so a bunch of these guys are on the internet. They're begging for attention and validation. You know, real men of value, they're not begging for attention and validation. You know, they want to just keep all of that stuff hidden. Because certain times that I do TikTok lives, I only started jumping into these TikTok lives recently for the last month or 2 months. And I get people asking me personal questions. They're saying, what type of women are you talking to? How many are you talking to? Are you in a relationship right now? Are you married? And so on. Now, the reason why I don't like to answer personal questions about relationships is because that ain't a tangible answer. Meaning that if, for example, I was married right now, the people who are watching, they don't know what my relationship is like behind closed doors. You know, certain people, they can be married, they could be showing that they're in a good relationship, but they're going through a rough patch, or they're going through divorce proceedings. You know, there's some people out there who have been divorced once, twice, 3 times plus. You know, you can never really tell what a person's relationship is like. Because what people try to do is, a lot of guys, they try and equate business to a relationship. Meaning that, a guy slept with 10, 20, 50 plus women. He's doing well. But is that actually of value? Now, the answer is, it's not. Because you can just be eating, let's say, when it comes to food, right? You can be eating a whole bunch of junk food. And you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm getting fit and healthy. But are you actually consuming real quality food? It's vice versa when it comes to a relationship. That's why you see a bunch of single men and women in today's time. It's because a lot of the options right now are of low quality. Now, for the viewers who are watching this, how many women have you guys spoken to? You're thinking, oh, okay, she's showing signs of interest, she's a decent person, so on. But she's not quite the quality that I want her to be. Now, that's the time right now we're living in, where you can continue improving yourself. But what type of quality options are you guys actually getting? Because chances are it's going to be really difficult to find somebody of quality. So certain guys, right, they're getting into relationships at 18, 19, 20, 21, and so on. But are they actually settling with somebody who's actually of quality? Or are they just getting into a relationship for the sake of it? Now, there's a bunch of people who are just getting in there for the sake of it. That's all they can get their hands on. But for the guys who are watching this, guys who have been leveling themselves up, working on themselves, you're going to have set standards. Now, you can't just settle with any low quality woman and be satisfied. Because that right there, you'd rather just stay single. So this one is children. Now, when it comes to a long-term relationship, somebody wants to have children. It's really important you choose your partner wisely. You want a woman who's literally the best quality person that you can get. And you're going to need to train her up. You're going to need to condition her. A lot of women get triggered when I use the word condition. They say, oh yeah, what, you trying to treat her like a dog or something? It's not about treating a woman like an animal. It's literally when a woman shows good behavior, you give her more attention. When she shows bad behavior, remove your attention. And that's just with people in general, whether it comes to family, friends, work colleagues. You don't want to give attention to somebody who's just completely being disrespectful. Now, these red pill clowns, a lot of them just promote sleeping around. They're not for children and marriage and commitment. They don't care about any of that stuff. They even promote sterilization. Guys to get sterilized. So keep fornicating with all these women and sterilize yourself. Freaking pathetic. So final point is level up. Now, there are certain parts of the red pill which talk about leveling up, improving yourselves, working on your purpose each and every single day. Now, all of that stuff is really important. But you guys have to realize, as you level yourselves up, as you improve yourselves, how many people are you going to see at the top? Not that many. So, for the men of value who are watching this, there's going to be a point where you're going to have to eventually settle with a woman. Now, some of you guys are thinking, wow, settle. Yeah, well, that's it. If you're somebody who's providing more value, you're gonna have to just settle. Be like, all right, this woman here doesn't quite provide the same value, but I'll just have a relationship with this person because this is the best quality option that I see for me. Now, for each of you, it's going to be different depending on your level of compatibility. A woman who's of, let's say, a good quality option. She seems like a woman who's a good woman, but you might not be compatible with her. There's going to be certain women who are like that you guys come across. That's not to say that there aren't any good women out there, because as you level yourself up, you will come across good quality women. Some of these clowns, right, they think, no, there's no good quality women, they don't exist. The reason why they're saying that is because they haven't actually leveled themselves up properly. They think it's just money, status, looks, and all this other BS. Now, for the guys who are watching this, how many of you lot value a woman like Kim Kardashian, or these, what's her name, Bonnie Blue, and all these other promiscuous women? You got a bunch of people giving them attention, but how many of those people want them? You're not going to want them type of people. Those are low quality options. But this is it. When you level yourself up, you continue working on yourself, you will get better quality options. Like with the guy who mentioned, like the guy at the beginning who was talking in the video. If you keep improving day by day, slowly, you will start to get better quality options. So, just to wrap up, red pill. Now, with red pill, it's another poison that's being spread within the community. It's been labeled as the truth. So there's bits and pieces that are true. So when it says pre-selection, a guy who gets multiple women is going to be desired by other women. But there's a lot more to it than just that. Because there's a bunch of women who are following, let's say, that band that I'd mentioned, BTS. But how many of those women are actually of quality? Do you think a high quality woman would be in that type of environment? The answer is no. So, next one after that was quality. As we just mentioned, you can have low quality women, but how many of those women are actually of high caliber? So a bunch of these guys, they're like, oh, look how many girls I'm talking to. I'm talking to this and this. I'm talking to someone here. I'm fornicating with this woman. A high quality woman doesn't fornicate. Just like how a high quality man doesn't just get into a relationship with any woman. He's going to have standards. He ain't just going to pick anything he can get his hands on. Like, oh, please, I want to get in a relationship with you. I can't get no one else. No, just pathetic. Next one after that was children. With relationships, they're a long-term investment. You want to have children with the right woman. Don't want her to just be out on the streets, loose. She's somebody who doesn't value family and children. Because there's a bunch of Decepticons who want to be independent boss babes. They don't want a man. They just want to leech off of him. You don't want to be anywhere near that. And then the final point was level up. Now, you as a man, you can be constantly leveling yourself up, constantly improving. And you will be attracting better quality options. Because there's certain guys out there, they're saying, oh, there's no good women, good women don't exist. Look at all these filthy women on TikTok. I mean, that's the reason why they're getting low quality women. It's because they're on TikTok. Like people who are really working on their purpose. They're trying to just provide as much value as they can to society. They're not just going to be consuming all this filth on TikTok all day. So continue leveling yourselves up, guys. Continue working on your purpose. And you will get better quality options. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.